So amazing. Now we start. Yeah, beautiful. We have a special guest today from Schwarzwald, Black Forest. We already had the opportunity to spend the whole day with him yesterday for leaders and servants from 10 to 3, and he encouraged us about why we actually church. We're actually for a church for those who don't know God yet, for those who are not yet in the church. So how can we make it easy for people to get to know God? And that encouraged us so much, that empowered us so much. Thank you so much for how you have already invested yourself in us. Thank you for your boldness, for your heart. Thank you for seeing the potential and speaking the potential that each and everyone has and that God has put into the church. We sat together in the evening at our place and we ate pizza, and maybe like three hours we just exchanged, and it really moved, and it really changed also some things in us. And it's amazing that God also calls these people, and that He says the best times are yet ahead of us, and that God says He has a plan for all of us. Let's not be upper Franconian, and that's the way that we clap. And we are not just sitting down, but we are ready. We are sitting up, and we are saying, God, how do you want to talk to us today? We say it is not going to be boring, but we are amazed. So if you are amazed today, you are allowed to clap. Yes, really. You are allowed to practice that this morning. And before Theo now comes to the front, we will have a small clip and you will hear something amazing.
Lauwarm, alles so lauwarm. Alltag hier, Gewohnheiten da. Zu vertrauen fällt mir schwer. Da sollte ich mich entscheiden. Alles oder gar nichts, hin oder her. Lauwarm. Bin ich bereit, Gott alles zu geben?
All in. Sounds amazing. All in. Yeah, you can clap. There's amazement. On a Monday, after a long weekend where you are sleep deprived, you don't feel like all in anymore. Maybe hear the following. A man with a lot of animals, cats, dogs, spiders, is looking for animal feet, and he's looking in a small street. He's seeing this pet shop, and he goes into the shop, and there's a man at the counter, and he greets him, and it says, so amazing that you are here, how can I help you? And he needs the cat food, the dog food, and the man says, okay, yeah, you can find it back there. And the man goes down and he looks for the things. Then he suddenly hears this voice, hey, you, come over here. And he's so perplexed. And this voice, this horrible voice that instructs him to come over. And he looks, where is the voice coming from? He's not seeing anyone. And then again that voice, hey, you, come over here. He's already aggressive. And then he sees a parrot at the end of the aisle, and it sounds like he's the one responsible. And so he goes to the parrot. So such a parrot. Now he sees the parrot, and the parrot starts speaking. Hey, you are ugly. You are a loser. And the man is shocked. Wow, this is How could he say that? And he goes to the owner of the shop. And he says, "This is impossible. What the parrot is saying, that's not. Yeah, how can that be?" And the guy is apologizing, and he goes to the parrot and he says, "Parrot, you cannot say that. Don't say that." The parrot, the customer is happy. He feels like, okay, it's okay. He buys the things, pays, leaves. 2 weeks later, he needs the same things. He goes to the same shop. He goes inside, looks for the food, for the dog and cat food. He goes to the aisle and he hears the voice again. And it says, "Hey, you, come over here." And he thinks, this parrot, I'm going to beat him. "Hey, you, come over here." And this man, he's aggressive. He's ready. He's going to that aisle, and the parrot on this stick, and he says, "And you?" And he provokes him to say it again. And the parrot erects himself and he says, "You know already. You and I, we already know so much that we maybe better shouldn't know. We know I'm a loser, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not rich enough, not great enough. I'm just nothing. I'm not the one that I want to be. I'm not the one that others want. I'm not speaking the right language. Are you Swabian? Would I be easily attacked? I would be hurt, but I am. I'm coming from this rural area where there are just 300 people in 900 meters high. I would be saying, no, I'm from Black Forest, I'm not Swabian. Has someone also called you wrongly? Has someone else told you something that you shouldn't have heard? Or you felt like you were not invited? This morning I want to invite you to invite others. And especially in these 5 or 6 months, we have this culture that is not a culture of invitation. It's a culture of uninviting. It's a culture of controlling that no one needs and no one likes. Who understands the human soul. All in is an invitation not to negate that we are maybe in the most difficult situation of our country after the Second World War, but it is challenging. But the problem that I wrongly focus on it is still going to get bigger, not smaller, and I need my full capacity that God has given me to deal with that challenge well. And the thing that says I'm all in 2 Corinthians, we read that the eyes of the Lord sees the whole world. He's not stopped to look for what God, what the people need. He's all in. That's what it says. The eyes of the Lord are looking the whole world to be there for those whose heart is unseparated, looking at Him. Just those who are undivided in their heart, looking at God, can be undivided, caring for others. I had the blessing of staying in Upper Franconia. Sorry, I said lower, but it's Upper Franconia. I was also in Nuremberg, and I wanted to buy pretzels, and I went to the bakery and I said, "Please, I want to buy pretzels." But they said, it's actually called, the woman was annoyed and said, it's called Brezen. I was shown you are different, you speak different, you look different, you're not welcome? Who else didn't feel welcome somewhere? Where you felt you need to change so that I will fit in. God is different. His eyes are looking through the whole world for those who say, I want to be all in. This invitation that I speak now, that God has spoken, I want us to also speak that invitation. So, okay, I want to talk about the breakfast this morning. I felt like, okay, yeah, I'm going to breakfast. Wow. And I saw, wow, they have a buffet. We don't have that. Wow, it looks like it's normal. I can take whatever I want by myself. Then someone from behind, I had this voice, and they said, you are not using the glove. You can't just walk around and take what you like. Take the glove, wear the glove. And I was like, where is the glove? Yeah, I would like to do what you say. Please don't beat me. I just want to take my breakfast. Please don't beat me. I don't want to be beaten. It's almost like this voice to say, hey, you, come over here. You are a loser. You don't look good. You are looking ugly. This voice exists in our country. Have you heard it before? As a child, I have this special biography, but maybe you can say my biography was also not ideal. Who has an ideal story, ideal parents, ideal room, ideal space of Lenin? Who always had an ideal surrounding 24/7, every month, every year? You are invited if you were uninvited. You are invited if you were rejected. You are invited if someone cut your heart off. Even if someone said, you're not wearing the glove, you cannot just touch everything, you are still invited. The subtitle of this message for this morning is, you are invited. You are unique. You are valuable. You are powerful. You are inspired, but it needs you to go all in. Yeah, there's the voice that says, hey, you, come over here. And you know already, I'm ready. I'm ready to be dumped, to be suppressed. I every day have to know how to feel, how to treat others. I need to learn how to treat others when they reject me. It is 10% what people do to me, but it is 90% of how I react. I don't want to be uninvited just because someone had a mood. But I am telling you this morning, you are invited. I was sitting at the table. The breakfast was okay. What they offered was okay, but in my heart, I was annoyed because my breakfast experience was ruined. Then suddenly, God told me, "Hey Theo, if I read your iPad today, if I'm reading it correctly, you are talking about the topic you are invited today." And the sentence that Jesus invites those that others refuse or reject. Then, if you really want to talk about that, then maybe practice what you preach. So I went to the woman and I told her, I really like what you do, and the things that I already touched, I took now the glove and put them aside, and I showed her her value and my love. I want to tell you something. Our country is suffering. We have to go back to what was always right. Our crisis, things that were correct before are still correct. I'm still wearing my mask, my face mask, and for me, I'm of the opinion that right now the pandemic the risk is actually much less.
Aber nichtsdestotrotz, schau mal her.
But even though I'm learning to live according to the laws, not because I believe everything that I'm told, because I've read Romans 13, where it says I'm living in respect. I'm living in respect of the politicians. I'm living in respect of the ones of the governments. And I want to now invite you to be invited or to invite others. If you feel or if I feel that I am invited, then I go all in. It was difficult for me to go all in with this person until at the breakfast, until Jesus told me, I'm also not reacting like that if you act wrong. And that was what repaired me. So in this surrounding, the atmosphere that was there, I saw it differently. There was a woman passing by, and I wanted to smile at her, to just be nice. And there's a hero maker who has this slogan, who has been with me for 30 years. And he says, add value wherever you go. Add value, add beauty, add value, add honor, add attention, add embracement wherever you go. So in this breakfast atmosphere in Germany, everyone wants to be by themselves. And you have these fences maybe, and I just look at her, I smile at her, and she's shocked, and she's sorry. She says, sorry, I forgot my mask, and she goes back to her table, and I'm like, well, a mature, good-looking woman, maybe my age, is shocked when she looks at someone who's smiling at her. So I authorize you now, just if you want, just that's when it works, that you now become ambassadors of a God who tells you you are invited, even if you are uninvited. You are invited when you are rejected. You are invited if you are not doing the cut. You are invited if you don't look like others look, if you don't behave like others do. You are still invited. Let's go into the text, into the Bible. Jesus is the Son of God, and he is described as a man who does things that are impossible, that are strange. And he's now at the place where he does amazing things. He calms the storm. He loves people. He multiplies the bread, and he heals just by going by. And even though all of this was there, even friends of him were not sure. Who has people in their family who are not always nice to you? And maybe where you even say, I don't even want to go to eat with them. So, all the family is from Adam, so we all have the same problem somewhere as well. So there was one family man who is called John the Baptist, and he has this question. He didn't even ask the question. He was maybe too depressed, but he sends someone. He sends a colleague, and he says, ask this guy, is Jesus really the one? Or are we waiting for someone else? John was the one to prepare the way for for the Christ, the one to unroll the red carpet for the one who was to come, the one who was called to be the prophet of all.
ins Zweifeln.
He's now doubting,
Kam in die tiefe, dunkle Nacht seiner
and he's now in the darkness
und
of his
er
soul,
zweifelte an
and he
dem,
starts doubting
der Erlöser der ganzen
the
Welt
one,
ist. Was heißt das für dich?
the Redeemer of the whole
Wir gehen
world.
auch durch
What does it mean for you?
Wir gehen auch durch solche Zonen.
We also go through
des Weglaufen
these
wollen, des
zones, through these
Fragens,
areas, through these times of
Ist es nicht
questions.
erstaunlich? Jesus sagt
Is
ja
it
nicht,
not
hey, ich sag dem
astonishing
Verwandten, er kann mir mal.
That he
Sag
doesn't
dem
say,
Verwandten
this,
mal, er kann mich mal.
this guy,
Nein, das hat Jesus nicht gesagt. Jesus hat gesagt.
he doesn't know what he's saying.
Ähm,
That's not what Jesus
laut
said.
drauf geantwortet.
He was
Er sagt,
intelligent to answer.
Was läuft denn? Was
And he
heißt
says,
das?
what does it mean?
Leute
What
werden
is
geheilt,
happening?
Blinde
People
werden
are
sehen, Krüppel
healed,
werden
blind
laufen.
see.
Was heißt das?
What does it
Jesus hat
mean?
gesagt, du kannst
Jesus
an dem
says,
sehen, was ich tue, wer ich bin.
through what I'm doing,
Das
you can
tun
see
wir
who I
ab
am.
heute, weil wir verstehen, wir sind eingeladen.
Because we understand
An dem
that we are
sehen, was wir
invited,
tun, wer du bist.
we can see who
Ist das
you
nicht
are.
fantastisch? Du darfst mal für dich selber
You
klatschen.
can now clap for
Klatsch mal
yourself.
für dich.
Please clap for
Applaudier
yourself.
mal für dich. Ab heute
Clap
bin ich, der
from
ich bin.
today.
Ab heute bin
You
ich
are
der
the
beste
one
Jörg,
that I
der ich
am.
sein kann,
From
weil
today, I'm
Jörg
the
kann
best
nur ein
Jörg that I
lausiger
can
Theo
be.
sein, aber ein
Jörg can
super
be
Jörg.
just a
Und Theo
bad
kann nur ein
Theo,
lausiger
and
Jörg
Theo can
sein,
just be
aber
a
ein super
bad
Theo.
Jörg,
Theo
but
sei Theo,
Theo
Jörg
can
sei
be an
Jörg.
amazing
Kai sei
Theo.
Kai.
Kai can be
Christine sei
Kai.
Christin. Noah, du
Christine
bist die beste
can be
Noah,
Christine.
die du sein kannst.
Noah, you are the
Wir
best Noah that you
lieben
can
das.
be,
Wäre das
and
nicht
we love
fantastisch,
that.
wenn diese
Wouldn't that be
Message
amazing if we
was
bring that
Volk hält in dieser wunderbaren
bring that
Stadt,
message
in die
out
Gott euch
into
gepflanzt
this
hat.
amazing
Okay,
city
das
that
ist
God
der
has
Text. Der
planted
Text
you
ist
in.
im
Let's go to
Lukas-Evangelium, Kapitel 7. Und da
to the
sehen
text
wir
in Luke
folgende
7.
Worte. Da ist eine Begebenheit,
And
die
we
ist
see the
schon
following words.
erstaunlich.
We have
Jesus
this
hatte
astonishing
Befürworter,
story.
Jesus hatte
Jesus
Beobachter
has
und Jesus hatte Gegner.
his people, his supporters,
Die
and
Gegner waren
and the
manchmal
people that
dreist,
are
ihn
against him
einzuladen
as well.
zum Essen.
And
Nicht
even
jede Einladung zum Essen ist
the
unbedenklich.
people that were against
Es
him
war eine gefährliche
invited him.
Einladung.
It
Einer,
was,
der
and
nicht
now
sicher
they
war, wer
did.
Jesus
So
war und der ihn
it was
vorstellen
even a
wollte oder
dangerous
nicht ganz
invitation.
weit
Maybe they
oben
just
war,
wanted
lädt
to
ihn zum Essen ein. Und Jesus
show
hat keine
off,
Angst, zum Essen
and
zu
but
gehen,
Jesus
was
is not
eigentlich
doesn't
ziemlich gut ist,
fear
oder?
to go
Weil
there,
Essen ist
and that's
schön und wichtig
pretty
und
good. Yeah,
gut und tu's heute noch mal
he's
ein,
invited
zwei,
for
drei
food.
Mal. Ja, was ist
And it's amazing
Aber
to have
Jesus
food.
sagt
Maybe you should also do that today
jetzt
again, to eat, to
etwas,
have
was
food.
nicht hätte passieren sollen,
And there's
was
something that
nach dem Protokoll
when they
aber
meet,
nicht erlaubt war.
something
Und
that was
siehe,
not allowed,
Lukas 7, 37, 7, 37.
that is now happening.
Und siehe, da war eine Frau in der
In
Stadt,
verse
die war eine
37, and
Sünderin.
behold, a woman in the city which was a sinner.
Das könnte man auch von dir und
Now,
mir sagen. Oder? Wer
that
sich-
you
wer
could
sich heute
also
Morgen einigt,
say that
dass
of
dieser
me and
Titel
you,
auch für
that
dein Leben
who
passt.
also
Wer
agrees
außer
with
mir
that,
hat viel
who
verwirrt?
also says that
Wer außer mir
that
hat Träume
title
schon gebrochen? Wer außer
is
mir hat
correct.
Worte
Who
gebrochen
of
und
you
Erwartungen nicht erfüllt? Wer außer
has not
mir
met
hat
expectation,
Menschen
who
enttäuscht?
has
Hat vielleicht Gott enttäuscht?
disappointed
Wir
people,
alle haben das
who has
Ziel
not
verfehlt.
reached a
Aber hier
dream.
ist was anderes
We have
gesagt,
all
wenn in der
missed
Bibel im Neuen
the
Testament
goal
steht. Und
somewhere.
siehe, da war
But
eine
in the
Frau in
Old
der
and the New
Stadt,
Testament
die
now
eine
it says,
Sünderin war. Was heißt das?
and behold, a
Das
woman
heißt,
in the
dass sie
city,
eine Sexworkerin war, eine Prostituierte,
in
ein
the city.
Hooker. Sie war
She
eine
was a
Frau,
prostitute.
der man
She
nie
was a
im
woman
Hellen
who
begegnet ist, weil man das, was man mit
you
ihr
don't
macht,
meet her-
gegen Bezahlung nur im
you
Dunkeln
don't meet her during the daytime, but you just met her during the night in the darkness because you paid her for something.
Nur von dieser Verhaltensweise einfach. Ich rede von
And from this type of
schmerzlichen
behavior,
Dingen, die wir wiederholen, von
these
Worten,
things that we
die von Blicken, die wir
that we do, that we always repeat, these
Frau
words that we
hat
repeat,
so schmerzlich
this
geschaut,
this
als ich
shame, this
feststellte, bei meinem
pain.
Lächeln. Ich war wirklich nett. Also
I was
ich
really
war
nice.
nett sein.
Let's go back to that woman. I really smiled and I was really all in and I was at my best.
Und fühlte
And she was shocked.
nicht gut genug.
And she felt, okay, I'm not good enough. Yeah, there's something missing around my mouth, at my mouth. I'm not good enough.
Der Schmerz ihres Gesichts
And this pain of her face showed that she was also broken. And that she was insecure. That she needed
Ist es nicht fantastisch, wenn du jetzt noch
someone
liest
to
und
come
mit mir
in
liest
to
und
give
ich
her
lese
security.
das.
Let's read it
Da war
again.
ein Mann in der Stadt. Er hieß Theo.
Let's
Und
read
er
it
war ein
again.
Sünder.
There was a man, and behold, there was a man.
Ist doch
His
fantastisch,
name
was
is
da steht.
called
War.
Theo, and he was a sinner.
Ich
Is
mag
it not
das.
amazing that it says was?
Darf ich dich einladen, etwas zu tun?
Am I invited
Darf ich's auf
to do
Englisch sagen?
something? Am I allowed to say it in
Your
English?
yesterdays. Lass deine Vergangenheit vergehen.
Leave your
Eines
yesterdays.
jedoch tue ich. Ich
But
vergesse,
one
was
thing
hinter
I
mir
do.
liegt. Ich streck mich
I
aus nach dem,
forget
was vor mir
what
ist.
is behind me.
auf den Kampfpreis der Berufung in Jesus
hunting for the
Christus
mark.
erhoben.
I'm hunting,
Wir tun 4 Dinge,
looking
genau,
for
gib
the
ihm mal
things.
Ehre. Jesus
I'm looking
Christus
for the
verdient
things that
Ehre.
are,
Wir tun 4
that are
Dinge.
before
Wir
me.
wollen,
Give
dass
God
Menschen
some
Gott
praise.
kennenlernen.
Give
Wir
God some
wollen, dass sie
praise.
Freiheit
We
finden
want
und
people
erleben.
to
Wir
get
wollen,
to
dass
know
sie ihre
God. We
Bestimmung
want them
entdecken
to,
und dass sie dann einen
to
Unterschied machen. Das
walk
wollen
into
wir
freedom,
Menschen
and we
überall
want them
auf
to
dieser
make a
Welt
difference.
einladen, zu
We
erleben.
want to invite people.
Und das ist so gut, dass
That's so
Jesus
good
nicht sagt, okay,
that Jesus doesn't say,
aber
you are good enough,
du kannst
but this
kommen,
one is not.
aber sag ihm, er soll wegbleiben.
You can, I'm telling you, you can come, but tell him to not come.
Die Frau, die Sünderin war, in
The one that
seinen Augen
was a
war
sinner.
sie Sünderin. Die Identität,
In this
wenn
guy's
sie- wenn Gott
eyes,
anschaut. Wenn
in
Gott
even
sie
God's
anschaut,
eyes,
sieht er nicht, was
he,
war, sondern
he
er sieht,
sees
was
that
sein
they
kann.
are
Er
sin.
behandelt dich
But he
heute schon
sees
da
still
sehen, was sein kann.
the potential
Und
that
das
is
befreit
in
dich
her.
wirklich raus
And that
aus
really
der
frees you.
alten Geschichte,
That frees you to
alten
come
Zeit.
out of the
In
old
Jesu
things,
Namen.
out of
Amen.
the old
Okay.
behavior. In Jesus'
Und-
name. Amen.
Und als sie
And-
erfahren hat, ist so stark.
It's so
Sie
strong.
muss Jesus
When
schon
she
begegnet sein. Sie muss
knew,
von Jesus schon gehört haben. Sie muss bei
she had to
irgendeiner
somehow
Versammlung
encounter
schon bei
Jesus.
Jesus
She had to
gewesen sein.
hear from
Und ich
Jesus,
glaube,
or
sie hat
she
viele
hear from
Männer
Jesus
Augen
at some
gesehen, aber noch
gathering.
nie hat sie solche Augen gesehen. Und sie
And
dachte,
I believe
er hat
she
mal,
has
was
seen
ich brauche.
man's
Als sie
eyes,
über
but
die
she has not
Straße
seen
in
these
Würzburg
man's
zu Hause
eyes.
und die essen gerade.
And she has
Sie muss
seen
alles
how
lieben
strong
und
these
stehen lassen.
eyes are.
All
And
in.
she leaves everything.
Die Frage,
She's
ob
going
du
all
neu
in.
leben
The
lernst,
question,
ist nicht die Frage, ob
if
dir
you
irgendwann mal
learn how to
Wunderbares
live
passiert,
correctly,
Lotto
it's not
gewinnst,
about if
endlich
you
das
win
Geld,
in
das du
lotto,
nie
if you
ausgeben solltest.
have all the money that you can never spend.
Die Frage,
But the
ob du
question,
wirklich leben lernst,
if you really learn how to
ob du
live,
die richtigen Augen siehst.
is if you
Wusste,
is
sie muss
answered by whether you see
sie muss
the
Jesus
right
Christus
eyes.
begegnen.
She needed to encounter
Danach
Jesus,
gehandelt.
and
Wir erfahren, dass
she
er da
acted
war
on it
und
as
dass
she
er im
knew
Haus des Pharisäers zu Tisch
that he was
Sie
there.
wusste, dass jetzt was
When
läuft.
she knew that Jesus sat at
Sie
meat
hatte
in the
auch
Pharisee's
keine
house,
Nasenbedeckung.
she also didn't have. She realized something. She didn't have
Er
that
lag
face
zu
mask.
Tisch und sie brachte was mit. Sie
He was at the table and she
was
brought
könnte
something,
ich machen,
and she thought, what could I
altes
do
Leben
to
loszuwerden
leave my
und ein
old
neues
life
zu ergreifen,
and to
das er
take
vorbereitet.
the life that Jesus has
bringt ihre
prepared, the new life that He has
Alabasterflaschen mit
prepared?
Salböl
And it says,
teures Zeug.
brought an
Das
alabaster
Parfüm,
box
das du
of
dir anspritzst
ointments.
jeden Tag. Das ist billig. Wenn's 100
It's
Euro
not the one that
kostet, ist es teuer.
she's
Entweder
using
falsch.
every day, because
Das,
that
was
one
sie
is cheap.
brachte, war
But the one that she brought
mehrere
is so
Monatslöhne wert.
precious.
Das war teures Material.
It is so expensive,
Fake product
not just
für
fake,
fernen Touristenziel.
for maybe that is sold in
Sie
a
kam mit
tourist
ihrem
place,
teuren Öl,
but she's
ihrer
coming with
persönlichen Visitenkarte. Das macht
with
die
a
Sache delikat.
precious ointment.
Der
With
Duft einer
her,
Frau
that
ist die
sounds
Visitenkarte von
or that
so
smells
einer
like
Frau.
her.
Dieser Duft sagt,
The smell
ist erstaunlich.
that she has put on
Das, was
herself
ihr
is
altes
the
Leben
smell
war,
that
kostet
says,
aus von dem,
I
der ihr ein
can
neues
be
Leben geben konnte.
people can have me, I can be owned.
Der Gottesherr
But-
schämt sich nicht, wenn
But
wir
she's
unser
now pouring that oil,
altes,
that old
zerbrochenes
her,
Leben
that old
vor
her.
ihm ausgießen.
She's
Die
now
Frage ist,
pouring it
tut
out
mir
before
leid. Es
him.
ist teuer und hat
She's
mich
saying, I'm
zerbrochen,
sorry,
aber ich gebe es
it was
dir.
expensive,
Mir das geben, wonach mein
and
Herz
but I'm giving to you because I need what you can give me.
Und dann macht sie das
And then
Unglaubliche. Sie tritt
she does
von
the
hinten an die
impossible.
Füße heran,
She steps
weinte
to
und
her
fing
to her
an, seine
feet
Füße mit ihren
and-
Tränen zu benetzen und trocknete sie mit den Haaren
And stood at
ihres
his feet
Hauptes.
behind
Das
him,
macht man nicht.
weeping, and began
Stell dir
to
mal
wash
vor, ich war gestern
his feet
bei
with
Kai und
tears.
Christin und
Maybe
sie haben mich
imagine that
richtig
I was
gut
with
bedient.
Pastor
Es war
Kai
dumm, nicht
and
alles
with
wegzuessen,
Christine,
was sie mir
and
angeboten haben.
I tried not to eat everything that they offered.
Aber ich habe so einen Satz gelernt von Rick Warren.
I learned a sentence from Rick Warren.
Sign of true maturity. Befriedigung zu verzögern ist ein Zeichen echter Reife.
Resist or
Sie haben mir viel Pizza angeboten
temptation
und ich habe
is
2
a
Stück
sign of
genommen.
true discipline or
Meine
true
Frau hat mir
maturity.
zugeschaut und hat
My
gesagt,
my
"Theo,
wife
du
looked
bist
at me,
vorbildlich."
said, "Oh, wow, you are doing the right thing. You are
Diese Frau, stell dir mal
like
vor,
an idol. You are like a role model, rather."
und es kommt durch die offene Tür dieser wunderbaren Familie. Wollen wir
So
mal richtig ablästern
through
über
this
Kai
door
und Christen?
of this amazing family, wow,
Ihr
you're so
seid
amazing.
So fähig, ihr seid so begabt.
You are so famous. You are looking so good. You're so talented. You are people who can really build an amazing house. I believe I'm happy to go to Bayreuth. I believe I was blessed here. I felt more than hospitality, but I felt people who had their heart right. I felt that there were people who formed people. I experienced people who want to build hope for people who don't even know that they will come. People who will invite you and will love. Your pastor's couple is amazing. It's flowing in this house and it's bringing benefits to everyone. Now imagine this woman that we have had of, and she now comes to my feet, starts to cry, opens her hair and dries my feet with her hair.
Spürst du, was ich gespürt hätte, wenn das
Are you feeling what I'm just feeling now? I just have this in English now for this experience.
It would be awkward.
It would be awkward.
Very awkward.
Very awkward.
Es wäre komisch.
It would just be awkward.
Berührend. Was soll ich machen?
Touching.
Jesus ist nicht unsicher,
What
wenn
would I
Dinge
do?
passieren,
What am I
die
supposed to do?
Herz
But Jesus is not insecure when it comes to things of the heart. But Jesus can stand that.
angenommen, weil spürte,
Jesus
was
takes
dieser
that
Frau passiert
because he
war.
feels what has happened to the woman. He kisses her. I can really not imagine that. So if my wife would do that, would kiss my feet, it would already be strange. But otherwise I would be telling her, don't kiss my feet, because I'm not kissing yours.
Das war zu nah.
It was just too close, right?
Aber ich sagte heute,
But I'm telling you today,
nah zu dem.
come close to the one who has made you. Come close to the one who loves you. Come close
Der dich einlädt.
to the one who invites you. Come close.
Sie küsste seine
She
Füße,
kisses his
salbte sie
feet,
mit Salböl.
puts the
Als aber der
ointment on top.
Pharisäer, der ihn
But when the
eingeladen
Pharisees,
hatte, das sah,
now when the Pharisee which had bidden him saw
Dinge,
it,
die vom Himmel kommen. Und lass uns nicht unser
let's
richtendes
look for the
Mundwerk
things
aufmachen,
that are
Dinge,
coming from heaven. Let's
die
not
vom
be
Himmel
judging
geplant und erlaubt
over the things that God is bringing from heaven, that are planned from heaven. And this Pharisee thought, and I understand this Pharisee so much. Who other than me is a Pharisee so often? I always like if people do what I expect. But if I can't meet the expectations of someone else, then I believe there should be grace, right? But if you can't meet my expectation, then I should be righteous on you.
Ich bin ziemlich gerecht,
Right?
wenn es darum geht,
No.
dass du richtig verhältst. Und ich bin ziemlich
If I feel
erbarmenfordernd,
you need to
wenn
be
ich
righteous,
daran
you need to meet my expectation. But in the other way, I can't meet your expectation. I want grace.
Lasst uns darauf achten,
Let's
dass wir
turn that back.
gerechtes Verhalten
Let's
bringen
be
und
rather
anderen
that
Erbarmen geben, wenn sie es nicht
at the
verdienen.
point where we
Oder ist
say,
es nicht
okay, I want to be
fantastisch, wenn
righteous,
Menschen dich lieben, was du nicht
behaving. I want to
verdienst,
meet
und dir
someone's
geben,
expectation.
was du nie
But even if they
gedacht hättest,
cannot meet my expectation,
Dieser
I'm
Pharisäer
gracious.
sagte,
So this
dieser
Pharisee
Arzt
comes and
natürlich,
says,
der war ja total fromm.
he was righteous, right? He can't say it. He couldn't say it.
Wer und was für eine Frau das ist, die ihn anrührt. Denn
If he
sie ist
were a
eine-
prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touches him,
Zwei Punkte
for
zum Schluss.
she is a sinner.
Wenn du
2
den
points at the
ganzen
end.
Text liest,
If you read the whole story,
Jesus bezieht
Jesus
auf diesen Simon erzählt die
is
Geschichte.
is telling the
Der
story
Simon verhält
to
sich
Simon.
richtig und sagt, ja,
And Simon is doing the right
wenn
thing,
500 Euro oder 500.000
saying,
Euro geschenkt werden würden,
if
wärst
you
du
would-
mir dankbar, als wenn dir 5
you would
oder
be given,
50.000 Euro
you would be
geschenkt
more
würden.
thankful
Wenn ich dir
if
500.000
someone gives you
Euro erlasse,
500
dann
than
bist du
rather
dankbarer, als
5.
wenn ich ihm
If
50.000 Euro erlasse. Das ist okay, aber 500.000
forgiving you for
müssen wir nicht
something bigger,
abzahlen.
if
50.000
I'm
kriegt er schon irgendwie hin.
taking the debt of 500 from you, then
Du würdest
it's
mich
more
mehr
than
schätzen als er.
5. You would be more thankful. You would
Und
be
er
more
sagt,
grateful.
guck mal, Simon, so ist das. Ihr wurde viel vergeben,
So he
deshalb
says, Simon,
erster Punkt.
because she was forgiven much, so she loves much. That's the first point. Who has been forgiven much,
Wenn ich noch nicht
loves
viel
much.
liebe,
So
wurde mir nicht
if I don't love much, then I was not forgiven much. Right? If you feel like I'm not that loving, because I also feel that of myself, that means that I've not been forgiven enough. there's still too much sin in you that you have not brought before the altar.
Lass dir
You are not
vergeben
yet all in. Be forgiven,
und dann
and then
Liebe viel.
love
Zweitens,
much.
diese
Then
Frau
secondly,
im Kapitel 8,
in chapter 8,
7 wird erwähnt,
that comes
dass
after
Jesus
chapter 7.
Gefolgschaft hat.
it says that he has people who followed him, disciples.
Gefolge Jesu.
And I believe that she also followed him.
Jesus hat Leute gehabt von hohem Rang,
Jesus had people from high rank
ihm Geld anvertraut,
that
damit sie diese
brought
Dinge
money
tun konnten. Da war
so
ja
that
Kosten.
they could also
Es sind
do
Kosten
these things.
involviert,
There
um
were
diese
costs,
Kirche
right?
aufzubauen.
What was the cost of building a church like here?
Leute, es ist so wichtig,
The-
dass wir
it's
treu
so-
sind in einer Zeit, wo
So important that we are faithful, where in a time where so many people are insecure, that we bring security.
gute Haltung dabei. Wir bleiben
To have a good mood, to still be generous, is so
In jedem
important.
Fall hat diese Frau verstanden.
So this woman understood
Alles, was du tust,
Everything
tust mit anderen.
that you do it with others. That's the second thought. After the first one,
Komm,
who has been forgiven much, loves much. And the second one, come, but come also with your
Sonntags
friends.
ist nicht so sehr für dich,
Sunday is not really for you,
ist für deine Freunde.
but Sunday is for your friends.
Dreh dich mal im Raum
Maybe turn around a bit in the room.
Was stellst du fest,
What
wenn du
what do you see?
und du siehst so blaue
And
Holzschalen?
you see some blue, empty chairs.
Ich suche nach einem Wort mit L.
I'm looking for a word with L,
Genau, die sind.
or
sag
in
mal,
English with
noch
E.
leer. Das ist wichtig.
Maybe you can say they are
Noch
still
leer. Weil
empty.
erstens,
Please don't
wenn
say
mir
empty,
viel vergeben wird,
but
will
they.
ich viel lieben.
So
Wenn
first
ich
of all,
draußen
again,
viel
if
liebe,
I'm
ich sage,
if
du
I'm
bist
forgiven
eingeladen,
much,
du
I
bist
want to be,
eingeladen.
I want to
Ich bin
love
gestern
much.
raus
Then
und habe 15
then I
Tage
can go out and
gegangen,
say,
bin in euer
I invite this one, I
Einkaufszentrum
invite this one.
gegangen und
I
hab die
went with
Willkür
15
verteilt, wer immer mir gerade
pieces
in den
of
Weg kam.
chocolate,
Und
and
hab
whoever
auf
came
Einladungszettel
on
von
my
eurer
way, I
Gemeinde
invited people. I invited with this
extra bestätigt ein.
with these
Wenn
cards
alle
from the church.
Visitenkarten weg sind,
If
macht nichts. Ich bin
if
mir
every
sicher,
card
dieses Team
is
in der Lage,
finished,
neu zu
then I'm sure that
produzieren. Und du
this
kannst
team
so viele
can
bei euch
produce new
verteilen
ones,
an die, die
and
sie
you
wollen, und
you
an
can
die,
share
die sie
them
nicht
in the
wollen.
city to
Wegschmeißen
the
kann
ones
man die immer
that
noch.
want, and to
Aber
the
du
ones
kannst
that
nur
don't
eine
want.
Karte
They can still
wegschmeißen,
throw
eine
them
Einladung
away,
wegschmeißen, die
but
du
you can
empfangen
just
hast.
throw
Man kann
an
auch
invitation
nur auf eine
away that you have
Einladung
received,
eingeladen
but you
werden
can
und
also
kommen,
just
wenn man sie empfängt.
come. You can just come if you have been invited.
Aber komm mit deinen Freunden.
So I'm telling you, come,
Schau
but
mal
come
auf
with
den
your
Platz
friends.
neben dir.
Maybe look at the place next to you.
Okay? Und sag, okay,
And then
meine
say,
VIPs sind ab jetzt eingeladen.
Okay, my
Und zwar nicht
VIPs
von
are
ihm.
now
Er lädt
invited.
nicht meine VIPs,
He,
very
and it's
important
not
people,
like
sind die Freunde,
it's
die
not
ich
like
habe,
okay,
die ich
he's
von
inviting
kenne. Dafür
my
bauen wir
important
Kirche.
people.
Wir bauen
We
Kirche
are
für
actually
Menschen, die noch
building
nicht
church
zur
for the
Kirche gehen.
people who are not yet going to church.
Könntest du
You can now clap.
Wir sind eine Kirche,
We are a
die für
church
Menschen sind, die
that is
noch
for
nicht zur
people
Kirche kommen.
who are not yet going to
Wann
church.
steht der Connect? Der Connect entsteht, wenn du sie einlädst.
Where is the connect happening? It's when you
finde das
invite them.
fantastisch.
And that's amazing.
Jesus
That's
sagt,
fantastic.
Wem
Jesus
viel
says,
vergeben wurde,
who
der
has
liebt viel.
who has been forgiven
Jesus
much
sagt,
loves much.
komm,
And he says,
Mach
Jesus
es
says,
wie
come
die es gemacht haben. Komm, aber
like the
komm
ones that have
mit
done
deinen
it.
Freunden. Zum
Come,
Abschluss ein Vers
but
aus
come with your
Matthäus
friend.
11,
Then at the end,
28.
now
Und dann, ich
a
weiß nicht,
verse from
ich
Matthew
möchte die
11,
Zeit, wollt
28.
ihr eine nette junge Frau sehen, an deren
Do
Produktion
you want
ich
to see
persönlich beteiligt war?
an amazing woman that I produced myself, or I was part of the production? That is called daughter, right?
Weil sie hat ein wunderbares Beispiel,
She has an
das sie euch
amazing
erzählen will.
example that she wants to
Sie
tell
wollte nicht
you.
mitkommen, weil sie hat so
She
viel
didn't want
Angst
to
gehabt.
come
Weil
because
sie-
she had too much
keine
fear.
Ahnung, keine
No, no, no,
Ahnung.
I'm
Die
kidding.
leitet eine Location bei
She's
uns im
leading one of
Schwarzwald.
the locations
Sie ist
in
busy
Black Forest, and
und,
she's busy right now.
Ein grandioses
And this is-
28-jähriges Girl.
She's
Und
an
I love
amazing
her so.
28-year-old girl.
Und Jesus sagt,
And
bevor
Jesus
dieses Video
says, before this video comes now, before the clip comes,
Jesus sagt, kommt
Jesus
her,
says,
alle, die ihr
come
mühselig und
all
beladen
to
seid.
me.
Ich will euch Ruhe geben
I want to give you
vor
peace. I
euren
want to,
belasteten und ermüdeten Herzen. Für
where
mein
you are empty, where you are tired in your heart.
mir.
Learn
Auf
from me.
euch mein Joch, lernt von mir.
Take your yoke
Oh,
upon
ist
you.
gut, sanft
Learn
und
from me. Learn to
von
be
Herzen demütig.
humble from your heart, and you will receive
Wer zu
peace.
ihm kommt,
Who comes to him,
du deine Freunde einlädst,
if you invite your friends,
Vergebung erlebst,
when you have experienced
Herz.
forgiving forgiveness, then you can love from your heart. Take upon you my yoke. And then he describes the yoke, this lifestyle. My yoke.
Wow, das ist so ein brillanter Vers, oder? Kommt her zu mir, alle, die ihr mühselig und beladen seid, und ich werde euch Ruhe geben. Und ich habe gedacht, wir können heute Morgen mal so ein kleines praktisches Experiment zu diesem Vers machen, weil wir alle sind ja irgendwo beladen oder gestresst.
Maybe we can do an experiment. All of us, we are stressed. And we are walking through our daily life, and we say, if I just had 1 week or 2 weeks where I could walk slower, maybe I go back to myself again. I feel like we have a wrong understanding of stress, because we know that there's not just the stress that we know, but there's actually also good stress. And we also need both sides. It needs to exchange itself. So to press pause is not always the right way. But the thing that we need is that we need every day a small break, and where we say, in that moment, Jesus, come to me. The invitation that God gives to you, that He gives to you, He always looks for you. He has invited you. He loves you. And we want to take this picture of saying, okay, Jesus has really invited you. I'm going to Jesus, really sit comfortably, maybe breathe well, breathe deep. And in this exercise, you can also close your eyes if you want. If you are bold, you can do that. And just imagine it's a sunny day. You are driving on the highway with 100 kilometers per hour, and you see all the trees, and then you see a sign that says 80 kilometers per hour. And then you already slow down. You see your exit. You drive there and you reduce your speed even more. Then you go into the city and you reduce even just 30 kilometers per hour. You drive to a place, to a residential area. You drive through children or playground places where you can't drive fast, and then you go to a place where it's really rough and you have to reduce your speed more and more. Then you take the street that goes up the mountains to the mountaintop, where there's an amazing house. This house, imagine it as a house of security, house of peace. You go to the parking space, and then you go inside and you see at the veranda, you see Jesus is waiting for you. He's stretching his hand and he's asking, can I take your jacket? I believe that Jesus always asks us, can I take your weight, the thing that presses down on you, can I take it? And this invitation is always valid. I want to encourage you to also take that and try that maybe in your daily life, to just take some few minutes and direct your view at Jesus. Jesus invites those people that are rejected by others. Jesus, I thank you for this day. I thank you that in Bayreuth, you want to build this culture of inviting people that are rejected, that we invite people who are insecure, that we ourselves feel invited, even when we don't do what we are supposed to do. Thank you that the spirit of approval is bigger, is more important, more powerful than the spirit of rejection. You are invited. Jesus invites you now with this next song to go all in, to give your all to Him, to create your life according to, so that Jesus can be salt and light of the earth through you, that Jesus can invite your friends to church through you.
liebt dich
He loves
und
you
liebt diese Welt.
and He loves this world.
Und wünscht sich,
And He
mit
wishes
unseren Gaben und Talenten
that through our
andere
gifts
Menschen beschenken.
we can
Andere
give to
Menschen
others, that we can do good to others, for others. And to say, you're invited, you're invited.
Kirche hat eine große
The
Message.
church has one great message. The God of heaven invites all of us.
Jesu Namen.
In Jesus' name.
Du sitzen magst, bleib
If you want to
sitzen.
sit down, if you want to stand up, you can stand
Du
up.
weinen magst,
If you want to cry, you're allowed to cry.
dich freuen.
If you want to
freuen,
be joyful, you can be joyful.
der du bist.
You can be the one that you want to be.
Eingeladen. Amen.
Because you are invited. Amen.